Yo, 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 what it do now? Just the bang. Yeah, I didn't know, man. And here we are for another episode or segment. I don't know. Had a conversation with my dog, Tone Tell him. Y'all need to check out Open Minded Skeptic. Really dope show. But I was talking to him and he was like, do you do episodes or you do segments? And I was like, it's a good question. I don't really do episodes. I do say, y'all, sorry, I get on the rants. Anyways, man, it's good to be back. I told y'all we were officially back. And also, you know what else is back? That's right, the political season. Get ready to get bombarded in your inboxes, your text messages, and your actual mailboxes when it comes to, hey, did you vote yet? Hey, did you vote yet? Hey, did you vote? It's annoying, but it's things that we got to talk about. And one thing that I've wanted to speak about that I guess I never really figured out a way to articulate was there's this weird thing that happens when politicians are soliciting your vote. And I think I did it as well, but we use this phrase, I will fight for you. And on the surface level, it sounds really good, inspiring, motivating. It's like, yeah, man, I need you to go and fight for me and my beliefs and my ideals and everything that I want to happen into this country to make it a better place. I'm gonna send you with this vote in November to go, right? But when we really think about it, let's just take a second to think about it because words actually have meaning. And I don't mean that in a simplistic, duh, words mean something. I mean, there's power behind the words that we speak. So when we say, I will fight for you, haven't you noticed that all of Washington, D.C. is nothing but a fight? Left, right, liberal, conservative, left wing, right wing, leftist, MAGA. Like, it's always a fight. They're going there with the intention to fight. Like, I think that we need to start rearranging the way that we're approaching this. We need to start saying, I will stand up for you. I will defend your values. This doesn't put us automatically on the offensive because now when we are so emotionally attached to the policies, the beliefs, the ideologies that we subscribe to, well, now when somebody says that they're going to go fight for us, they put themselves into a coliseum almost, into a battlefield rather than into an office to work with the other members to make sure that these things can happen. So that's why you literally see actual fights like Bobbert and Bobbitt. I don't know how to say that idiot's name. And Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, you see literal fights, cat fights and dog fights and all that other kind of stuff because people have literally gone to Washington not to work for the betterment of the people or the constituents, but to literally fight. So now we have nothing being done. All we have is political theater. This person talks about these issues because these issues mean something, but they don't actually try to do anything about those issues. They just bring them up so they can start a fight. And that's all Washington has become. And I'm mainly focusing on Washington because most people tend to look at that as the political realm of the United States, even though it's so much more deeper. And we talked about that, especially in the Political Awakening video. Go check it out. But I'm speaking about that because those are the people that we feel are going to represent us on the large scale when it comes to federal, you know what I'm saying, policies that can be put in place to change our day-to-day lives. So yeah, we want somebody that's going to represent our values. But if all they're going to do is fight, then it becomes a negative issue, right? It becomes a problem. You become problematic because you're not going there to work. And I know work has a weird context in this form, but that is essentially your job. You are a congressman, you are a senator, or a congresswoman, or yeah, right? So, sorry, but it's like like thinking about that. And like I said, even I on the campaign trail was like, You know, I will fight for these things. I will fight for these things. And yes, there is a time and a place where the fight is necessary. When it feels like democracy is being upheld, or it feels like they're obstructing the democratic process, or it feels like the people are being forgotten for the profits and the corporations, then yeah, it is time to step up and fight for them to be heard, fight for them to be recognized, fight for them to be acknowledged. But after that, it is time to work to make sure that they are enacted. That is the biggest problem that I have when it comes to political season. And just as I wouldn't call it a thought experiment, but just as something fun to do. I wouldn't call it a drinking game either, because you might end up dying. But just for the hell of it, just notate how many times you see a political campaign ad and how many times you hear that candidate say, I will fight for you. And then think about this. Do you really want them going to Washington just simply for the sole purpose of fighting with their other people? Or do you truly want them to represent your best interests and to actually work in a way of trying, not necessarily bipartisan. I caught myself. I'm not saying bipartisan because I feel like that's bullshit. I feel like that's exactly what Obama was trying to do, and that's why he got nothing done. And I know y'all don't like when I say that, but he really got nothing done at all that really was significant. And let's just be honest about it. I'm not talking about bipartisan. I'm talking about making things relatable, not necessarily populist, but making it understandable as a not right or not left issue, but what can make things better for all. And once you get to that point, you realize a lot of those things are on the left. But that doesn't mean they have to be framed as left wing. That means they're framed as better for America. They're framed as better for the citizens. They're framed as better for anybody who is seeking that so-called dream that seems to be dying. So, like I said, just take some time, think about what I'm saying when it comes to this. Do you want them fighting for you, or do you want them representing you, and do you want them working for you on your behalf? Just something to think about. We'll be back.